Hey, call me Shape, and today we're reacting to a video titled Are Crazy Women Destroying the West? Let's get right into it.
Are crazy women destroying the West? We are forever reading headlines about the mental health crisis in the West. We're told that we're becoming more and more unhappy and more crazy. In many Western countries, mental illness is now the leading cause of disability and responsible for 30 to 40% of chronic sick leave, costing us around 4 to 5% in GDP. But who are all these sad and mad people? Well, mostly they're women. Women are 3 times more likely to experience mental health problems than men, and they are twice as likely to be diagnosed with anxiety and depression than men. And this situation isn't improving, it's getting worse. Rates of self-harm among females have tripled in the last 30 years, and rates of suicidality have doubled. But hang on, I thought we had so much more mental health awareness now. The well-being industry is booming. This is the era of emotions and self-care. Aren't we all opening up about how we feel, going to therapy and working on ourselves? Well, yes, but that may be part of the problem. 70 to 80% of psychologists and therapists are also women. Given that 1 in 3 women will take antidepressants in their lifetime, how many of these female therapists are also depressed and anxious? So we likely have many depressed women seeking treatment from depressed women therapists, and surprisingly, women's mental health is getting worse. So why are women so mentally unwell in the first place? Well, as Jordan Peterson and others rightly point out, it's because women are temperamentally higher in trait neuroticism than men. They're more prone to negative thinking and they're more emotional. Okay, I know I'm stating the obvious, but why else? Why are they becoming more mentally unwell? And what's been happening in the Western world in, say, the last 50 years or so? Well, for a start, the amount of women in full-time work has increased by over 50%. Similarly, the amount of women who are unmarried and single over the age of 30 has increased from 18% to a whopping 54% in the last 30 years. And it is estimated that almost half of all women aged between 25 and 44 will be single by 2030. So, women are working more and they're marrying and having a family less, and they're becoming more depressed. This isn't only bad for women, it's bad for everyone. This is because all the gains made by extra productivity in the economy, of things becoming quicker, more efficient and cheaper, have been swallowed up by women entering the workplace. Now that there's 2 salaries, the man and the woman's, that can go towards the mortgage, all that has done is push asset prices up, which means that all the extra money earned goes on rent and mortgages, and there's no lifestyle improvement. All there is just greater difficulty in raising a family and maintaining a work-life balance. Alongside this, more and more women entering the workplace has brought about freedom-destroying equal pay laws. For example, the UK's equal pay laws, covered by the Equality Act, mean that men and women receive equal pay for equal work. That is, work that is similar, equivalent, or of equal value. But who decides what work is of equal value? Well, it seems that it's all down to how the judge interprets the law.
Whoa! Round of applause for this channel for not blaming men. Vox Populi. Impressive. So let's read some of the comments. First comment says, masculine republics give way to feminine democracies, and feminine democracies give way to tyranny. Aristotle. I don't know if Aristotle said that, but if he said that, that is pretty wise. Another comment says, a relative is a female therapist. She's absolutely nuts. Yikes. I know, if your therapist is depressed and you're depressed, who's really getting therapy? Another comment says, women in command has been great for New Zealand Navy. All right, well, shout out to New Zealand. Another comment says, the age of reason is over. We now live in the age of feelings. Jesus. The age of feelings. That doesn't sound too good. Continuing on. Another comment says, people are going to learn the hard way how unjust equality actually is. I love how that sounds. Yeah, you can't get equality of outcome. Okay, I understand that the world is not equal, right? Some people are short, some people are tall, some people are smart, some people are dumb, some people are clever, some people are stupid, right? And what can we do to equal all that out? You know, it's like cosmetic justice. You know, it's like God has made this world unequal for a reason, so we can come together, right? Another comment says, you ain't lying. Men have checked out. Definitely. Another comment says, when the electricity goes out, everything will go back to normal. Yeah, because, man, we run the utility systems, right? We run all the electrics. Another comment says, when electricity goes out, everything will go back to normal. Yeah, because, man, we run the utility systems.
So, for example, we have the shocking story of Birmingham City Council, where female dinner ladies argued that they should have been paid the same salary as dustbin men who had been earning more. The judge agreed with them, and the council had to pay out around 700 million, leaving the council bankrupt. Or, more recently, there's been the case of retail giant Next. After a 6-year legal battle in which female shop workers argued that it was not fair that they weren't being paid as much as warehouse workers, the high street brand was ordered to pay out 30 million to equalise the pay. In their defence, Next argued that the pay for the two roles was based on market prices and to ensure the viability of the business. So we now have a situation where judges are telling employers how much they should pay their workers instead of the market deciding. And this is all happening in an increasingly feminised legal system that focuses on emotions, subjective interpretations, hate speech, hate laws, non-crime hate incidents, and woke activism. And that leads us to our final manifestation of toxic, crazy femininity. Woke. Since the mid-2000s, young women have becoming more and more left-wing. The growing ideological gap between men, who are more likely to lean conservative, and women, who are more likely to lean left, isn't really being caused by men becoming right-wing. It's actually because young women are increasingly adopting radical far-left positions. Perhaps, given that more of them are entering full-time work, which they struggle with because of their mental health, woke ideas such as harm reduction, focusing on emotions, caring for victim groups, and a critique of meritocratic capitalism appeals to them. If men can work long hours and work their way up the hierarchy quicker than women can, it's easier to call this patriarchy rather than accepting that men and women are just different and that women cannot compete with men. Diversity, equity and inclusion, safe spaces, therapeutic spaces, bringing your whole self to work, the tyranny of HR, harm reduction, psychological safety, emotionality, conformity and aversion to conflict and disagreement, perverse misplaced compassion, perverse misplaced empathy. This is the new academic environment. This is the new workplace. This is the new economy. This is the new legal system. This is the West, and it is being destroyed by toxic femininity and mentally unstable women.
You know, it's really impressive to hear a woman call this out, right? Because everyone thinks it's a bunch of incels, all the red pills, a bunch of men that hate women. So how do you feel about this woman, who happens to be a white woman, calling out feminism? Which, by the way, feminism started, in the 60s? So this has been going on for 60 years, and now we're starting to see the results of it, right? All these women are unmarried. All these women don't have children. I can't imagine what's going to happen in 20 years. I mean, I'm going to be older at that time, but it's just gonna be like, damn, I feel for the kids that are like 10, 12, 13 now, because when they're my age, 20 years from now, it's gonna be a wild place, a wild, wild west. But what I find interesting about this too is that now this is becoming a popular talking point. Everyone's talking about how bad feminism is. Everybody. Like years ago, I remember like feminism was like to pretty much it almost represented like, do you support women or not? So everybody was feminist in a sense because we were all like, right, you know, I don't want to be called, you know, become like to be anti-feminism, be like to be racist, right? No one wants to be racist, so you definitely don't want to be sexist either. And but now it's like, oh no, feminism is wrong. Like, the hell with it, right? Everyone's just like, let's just abandon feminism altogether. I love it. I'm here for it. I'm here for abandoning feminism. And let's have people return back to traditional roles. Men, we stayed in our traditional role. People want us to protect and provide and shut up, I guess, right? And I don't mind shutting up. I'm not going to argue with my chick. Hell no. If she's giving me a hard time and I decide to actually be with her, I'm going to let her do this. I'm like, yup. Yeah, we gonna see. We gonna see. Right? That's what they want us to do. Women are emotional. They're gonna have feelings. They're gonna have the trait neuroticism more than we are. So they're gonna be more susceptible and vulnerable to negative feelings and emotions. I've learned this the hard way, right? I remembered this one girl I was talking to. I gave her some bad information that, by the way, had nothing to do with me. I just thought I would give her some insight about something, and people were talking shit about her. And boy, oh boy, did that backfire on me. It's almost like, oh, why were you around those people talking this shit about me? It's like, damn, like, you know, I'm trying to share the information with you, right? But hey, what they say, don't kill the messenger, right? That's what people do. That's why that phrase exists. All right, let's read some more comments. Another commenter says, a woman delivery driver came to deliver a package the other day. She arched her back in pain when she got out of the van and struggled to lift the box over the fence. Somehow, somebody convinced her that this was better than being a mother at home with her kids. Yeah, I don't know. This out of the equality that everybody should earn and get a job, that freedom to women nowadays is to work the same jobs as men. And slavery is to work the jobs of their female ancestors of the past, right? To be at home with children. Oh my God, slavery, and to cook and clean. Oh my God. I seen a lady said that she was cooking and cleaning all by herself. Like, you know, she could be I think she was a wife and, you know, she was a stay-at-home wife, and she was upset that her husband, who was providing, wouldn't help her with the chores when he got home. Which I get it. If I come home from work, I'd help my wife with chores just because I like to clean up too, you know, but you know, if your job is to keep the house clean and cook and stuff, why do you need help? I'm not asking you to help me provide, you know, so I don't know. But yeah, somehow that's slavery to women. Anyway, another comment says, their feminist empire is crumbling, and the only thing they have to say is, poor me, I was lied to. This is the result of a bunch of selfish snobs then taking away their toys. Yeah, strange, right? Another comment says, I blame the Sims for letting this happen. You know, to be real with you, man, this is all caused by the Cold War. If you guys know your history, yeah. I would say look up subversion. Russian subversion, how they subverged our color, they submerged American, they submerged our culture to believe that, you know, to get rid of religion and to worship this and to worship that. Like, it's interesting. Get into it, man. I suggest everybody look up to subversion. Continuing the comments. Another person said, yes, is this even a question? I guess he's answering whether women are destroying the West. Another person says, they are not. They are, and I'm tired of pretending they aren't. Yeah, I mean, we all kind of are, right? Another person says, went from a masculine republic to a feminine democracy. Yeah. So I want to really ask, was things really worse at this point? I get that women had the issue where they couldn't vote and stuff like that, but it's hard for me to believe that this is better, right? That, you know, that now that they're on top and they control everything and everything's about feelings, and if you're a company and you don't have DEI, you could be sued for like hundreds of millions of dollars. This can't be better, right? This seems like real tyranny for sure. Another comment says, I'm a woman and I fully agree. Yeah, that's a thing there. Another comment reads, I work with 70% women. She puts this into words, what I experience in my workplace. It's so frustrating. Society's coming down. I see it happen in my feminized workplace. Yeah, I don't know. I used to work with all women. I don't know if you guys know this, but I used to be a photographer. If you check out some of my earlier videos, you'll see it. I literally started my YouTube channel to document my life as a photographer, and then 2020 happened, lockdowns happened, and all that went to dust, right? But yeah, I mean, for me, it was fun working with women because we were just taking pictures, and everyone loved me. I was a photographer that did great work, and it was like an honor for people to work with me. So I've never worked with a predominantly women in work environment to see this. But I would say that when you are working with women in other work environments, such as like restaurants or things like that, yeah, they cause drama out of thin air. I've seen that before, and yeah, it's a lot to do it. Let's continue. Another comment says, yeah, it's pretty sad. Glad I'm 62 and saw the glory days when people just lived and were happier. Yeah, man, the glory days are really in the past, you know. Happiness is like I don't know if happiness will ever have the level of happiness that people had back then, for real. Like, imagine living in the 50s and stuff. Definitely a different place. Another person says, oh, nailed it. But a man can't say these things or he will be labeled as misogynist. Facts. I mentioned that earlier because, you know, it's a double standard, right? I mean, people say they don't want men talking about women like reproductive rights. So we need women calling out reproductive roles if they believe that they're pro-life versus like pro-choice, if you will, right? I don't want to say nothing about it. I'm just going to take my precautions. But, you know, I know right from wrong, but hey, I live in this society just like you. And if people don't want to hear what I got to say, I ain't going to say nothing about it. Screw it. Another comment says, good girl trying to raise normal daughters in this milieu and keep their heads from being filled with lies and hatred for men has been a challenge. Yeah, shout out to you if you've been doing that. Yeah, I mean, and the stuff that they're promoting in movies now, I've seen a clip of Zendaya in a movie where two men are like kissing her neck. So I guess the new thing is going to be polyamory, which are really pushing on kids, which is teaching more promiscuity to young girls, which I don't know why. I'm shocked that Zendaya, her parents, and even her thought it was a good idea to do this movie. It just shows you how liberal some people really are. I mean, what? Like, I thought she was an innocent girl. Now she's having three-ways in movies and films. Jesus. You know, what's this world coming to, right? I feel like Pornhub and Hollywood are just going to merge at some point, right? Another comment says, toxic empathy, frustrated, aggrieved, and miserable people should not be given power. It has been established that talk therapy does not help anyone. Well, it helps the pockets of people who are therapists, right? They make a good living doing that. It's not cheap. You know? You can earn a lot of money listening to people. Another comment says, I have 9 accusations stacked against me at work. 9. I am alone, night guard. It's possible to have even 1 or 2, let alone 9. I work with a leftist charity, homeless teens. Okay, I can't read. This guy is like, leftist charity, homeless teens. The manager is covered in tattoos and is a crazy feminist with rainbow hair. Years we are forked. Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, some people, like, if you read the comments sometimes, I'm just like, what are these people trying to say? It's just like confusing. All right, I'll read a few more and then we'll wrap this up. Another comment says, most people aren't watching the BBC News anymore, but have a 5-minute watch and see what's it's turned into. Woman's Hour. Unbelievable. Bro, people need better grammar, y'all. It's really tough to read these comments. Another comment says, even the gyms are no longer safe spaces, including nightclubs, are now suffering due to men leaving, not wanting to be arrested. Facts. Jesus, if you don't show up to the nightclub with a woman, it is a dangerous place. You know, and shit, you know, I know it's like bringing sand to the beach, but if that's the safest way to get your feet wet, then my friend, get your feet wet. You feel me? Let's continue a few more. Another person says, I love how women have brought this about and are now complaining about the outcome. Again, it's not, we blame women. Feminism and the feminist movement is all because of the Cold War, right? You know, in the Cold War, even though there's no guns being shot, right, there's subversion. They took our culture and subverted it into this, and into the secular culture, where, you know, it's atheistic Darwinism, right? So it's debauchery, to say the best. It's debauchery. A few more. Beautifully articulated. It's a wonderful and refreshing to hear the truth. Yeah, and you don't hear the truth often at all. At all. Spot on, Amy. Activist feminist lawyers are behind the equal pay racket. Yeah, Jesus. Another person commented, while I live in my car alone, never to see my children, don't know why I'm alive, but I am. Man, stay strong. And this is what's getting to. A lot of people just want to say, yo, screw this, I'm out of this. And I get it. I get it. You know, it doesn't seem like there's any way to really solve this because it's a huge cultural issue. But I would say, just like this woman, Amy, there's a percentage of women who believe this, and the goal is to just align with them. And you know, all those women that are super liberal, they're radical lefties, let's just avoid them. They're not having kids anyway, right? So don't start a family with them, and, you know, let nature do their natural selection thing. All right, so I hope you like this video. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. Channel's blowing up. Check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you guys over there.